Okay, day 10, part 10. So, first, I want to back up a little ways. Please share my video. Please share my story. I want to bring as much awareness to this situation as possible. It's the only way that I feel like I'm going to get anything done. Um, some people had reached out and wanted to know if it was okay. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, let's get back to the subject. So, I want to go back even a little bit further and kind of talk about the process that helped me get to kind of where I was in the broken process. So now imagine you're me and you get these results through Ancestry.com. You reach out to an aunt and you match. She's Howard Jacobson's sister. You reach out to another one of his siblings. You match. Okay, you think you got it. You reach out to the rest of the family. They shut you down. You have nowhere to turn. So now all the questions are, well, what do I do? As I mentioned, I hired the locator. They did their little investigation, but okay, there's nothing else that I could do legally. I reached out to the state of South Dakota, to the Department of Social Services right away and said, hey, listen, I think you guys made an error. The information that was given, back in 1997 and the information that I have now I can completely disprove it. Well, they had no idea what to do, and every person that I talked to just kept referring me to another person, another person, another person, another person. Eventually, I'm at the top, the head person of the Department of Social Services in South Dakota, and they said basically there's nothing that they can do due to the statute of limitations in South Dakota. Establishing paternity, stops at age 18. The state has no more involvement beyond the age of 18. So even if there was an error, due to the statute of limitations and the fact that Howard is deceased, there's nothing that we can do to help you. And their exact words were, maybe you need to seek a lawyer. So, okay, I started reaching out to different lawyers, and unfortunately, none of the lawyers wanted to take this case right away without any, serious dollars up front for a retainer because of the way the law is written. The statute of limitations states that you have until your 18th birthday to establish paternity in the state of South Dakota, and none of the lawyers that I spoke with really wanted to challenge that. They said that they could, but it would be a very costly process. So then I go down to the courthouse and I said, okay, well, I brought my birth certificate down there and I said, what do I need to do to get another name added to this birth certificate? And explained my situation. And there's no department in the courthouse. There's no 911 emergency phone number. There's no state organization. There's nowhere to turn when you find out that you got information like this. There's no one that can help you or provide you any sorts of directions. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. With the popularity of genetic DNA testing, these sorts of situations are going to become more and more prevalent in our society because, things happen. And you shouldn't be ashamed of them. I'm not ashamed of my situation. The thing is, I never talked about my situation much growing up because I'll admit maybe I was ashamed growing up. It's pretty hard growing up without a dad, and kids are cruel, and I mean, it is what it is. But it's something that I'm not ashamed of. It's something that I never had anything to do with. I was a product, right? And my mom, shouldn't be ashamed either. I mean, it was a crazy situation, and it is what it is. But girls get pregnant every day. By guys, and they're not married or whatever, and it is what it is. But in her particular situation, it was made 100 times worse than it needed to be because of the way things were discovered, the way things were proven back then, and she had no way to justify anything. So I'm not ashamed of anything. My mom's not ashamed of anything either, and nobody should be. But we do need to make some changes in the laws so that it protects those who are the innocent, which in this instance, I believe I'm the innocent. I'm the one that was just born. I had nothing else to do with it. But now there's no way that I can, prove who I am through any sort of current legal systems without changing the laws. So I know this one went a little long. I'm sorry, guys, but I will cut it short there, and I'll start talking a little bit more about some of the processes that I went through to get to where I am today. So hope you're enjoying it. Please share. Thanks.